Hello everyone, I'm Professor S.R. Patil, Department of Information Science and Engineering, BLDCAT Vijayapura. So I would like to welcome you all for this data analytic concept. In today's lecture, I'm going to teach you data mining best practices. So in the last class, in the previous lecture, so we have seen what is data mining and what are the concept of data mining, process of gathering, selecting, cleaning the data, and evaluating the effectiveness of various data mining models. So these concepts we have seen in the previous class. So in today's class, I'm going to teach you standard data mining process. So in this standard data mining process, so we'll see what are the generic steps are there. So you just look at this diagram. So before we go to this, so effective and successful use of data mining activity, it requires both business and technology skills. So how both business and technology skill will helpful to come up with this data mining best practices, or we can say data mining process that we can see. So here, the data mining industry has proposed a cross-industry standard process for data mining. So that is also called it as a CRISP. Okay, so what CRISP stands for? It is a cross-industry standard process for data mining. So that is why it is called as a CRISP data mining. Okay, so this particular CRISP has 6 essential steps. So the first essential step, that is business understanding. So here some of the generic steps I have written. This generic steps which explains the what is the understanding of the domain, like identifying the resources, pre-process. Okay, in a pre-process what we are going to do, and then post-process finally we are going to deploy it. So we'll see with the help of this particular diagram. So here we have the business understanding. So business understanding means the first and the most important step in data mining is asking the right business question. So first we need to ask what? Right business question in the business understanding. So this is the first step. Then coming to the second step. So the second step is what? Data understanding. So what do you mean by data understanding? A related important step is to understand the data available for mining. So we're going to mine it. Okay, that is a standard data mining process. So before we mine the data, so we should understand that whether the data available, it is like how it is important for us, and one needs to be imaginative. While understanding the data, the one needs to be imaginative. Without relevant data, the hypothesis cannot be tested. So we require always relevant data while understanding the data. The third step is data preparation. So data preparation means the data should be relevant. Of course, it has to be relevant. Okay, irrelevant data will not give a proper result. The next is clean and of high quality. So it should be clean. Clean is nothing but what? Clean is nothing but it should not miss any value. That is what we call it as a clean, and it should be high quality data. And it is important to assemble a team that has a mix of technical and business skill. As I told you, to have the standard data mining process, one should have business as well as a technical skill. Okay, so here data cleaning, as I was talking about data cleaning. So data cleaning can take 60 to 70% of the time in data mining project. So that is why data cleaning, which plays very important role, because we are going to filter the errors in this particular step. Okay, the next step is that is modeling. So modeling, what we are going to hear, this is the actual task of running many algorithms using the available data to discover if the hypotheses are supported. So here we are going to use algorithm that depends upon the what kind of data mining process we are going to use and what kind of application it is. The next step is model evaluation. So after performing all these things, finally we need to evaluate. Okay, so how we can evaluate? For evaluating, one should evaluate and improve the model's predictive accuracy with more test data. For evaluation, we require more test data. Finally, we have come up with the evaluation procedure. So after evaluation, what we are supposed to do? Finally, we are going to deployment. Okay, so before deployment, we have like dissemination and rollout. It is important that The data mining solution is presented to the key stakeholders and is deployed in the organization. Finally, the last step is what? Deployment in the particular organization. The same, like whatever I have explained, the same content I have written in the next slide. That is, we can also call it as a data mining best practices. The first step, as I told you, that is what? Business understanding, right? In the business understanding, what you are going to do? We are asking the right business question. Okay. After that, next is it the person should have creative and open in proposing imaginative hypothesis. Okay. So that is the second step we have gone through. And third is data should be clean and of high quality. For cleaning the data, as I told you, it takes 60 to 70% of the time. Okay. So continuously engaging with the data. So data should be up to date, keep up to date, and it should be like the person should engaging the data with continuously. Okay. And we have seen that after dissemination, finally we are going to do what? Deployment. Okay. So we can also consider they are the best practices of what? Data mining. Okay. So understood? Fine. The next concept, that is comparison of popular data mining platform. Okay, so the main classification of data mining, that is data mart and enterprise data warehouse. So these concepts we have gone through in the previous lecture. Okay, so if you want to know more about that, okay, please see the previous videos so that you can understand what is the difference between data mart and we can call it as a functional data mart and enterprise data warehouse. Okay, so here we have the Excel, that is Microsoft Excel. This is a end user tool, and IBM SPSS modeler, then Veka. Okay, so what is the difference between all these three data mining platforms? Okay, so with these features, okay, we'll differentiate all the three. The first feature is that ownership. So Microsoft Excel, which is used by the end user, that is commercial. Okay, so it is open source also. So some of the, like the one which has the more add-on modules, for that we are supposed to pay. That is why it is a commercial. Okay, IBM SPSS modeler, which is used in the enterprise data warehouse and which is commercial, and it is expensive too. Why it is expensive? Because we are using this model for analyzing, for performing the huge amount of data. Okay, the next Veka. Veka, it is a open source and it is free. Okay, so the next feature is data mining features. So what are the data mining features with respect to Excel? So features are limited and extensible with add-on models. As I told you, if you want to have the more features, there is like add-on model will be there. So for that you are supposed to pay extra. Okay, so that is with respect to Excel. Then coming to the IBM SPSS modeler, extensive features. Okay, it has more features compared to the Excel, and unlimited data sizes. So it is also, like as I told you, expensive, but it has the extensive features of unlimited data sizes. And Veka also extensive performance issues with large data set. So coming to next feature, that is standalone. So standalone, this is for end user used by the tool, that is platform Excel, that is standalone, and it is embedded in BI, that is business intelligence software suites, and it is also standalone. User skills needed. It means that the person or an end user who is going to like operate all these three data mining platforms, whether he required some skills or not. Okay, so here end user, who is used by the Excel? End users. Okay, even though he has a minimal knowledge about the Excel, okay, he can make use of the end user. End user can make use of this particular platform. Then second is for skilled BI analyst. Okay, so here IBM SPSS modeler can be used by a skilled person, the one who got trained. Okay, so those person can be used this IBM SPSS modeler. So normal end user cannot able to operate this. Then Veka also skilled BI analyst is required. So next feature is user interface. So how like user can interact with this particular data mining platform? So using in this Excel, text and click, and it is very easy. So most of you are aware of how you can make use of the Excel for plotting the graph, for entering some data or record into the table. Okay. The next here, with respect to IBM SPSS modeler, we can drag and drop that can be used. It is colorful and beautiful GUI, graphical user interface. Okay, here Excel doesn't have the like good colorful GUI, but IBM Spaces has the graphical user interface. Okay, next, Weka also has the GUI mostly between text and output, text output. Okay, so even it has the GUI of colorful and beautiful graphical user interface. The next feature is, the last feature is data formats. So this is industry standard with respect to Excel, and the IBM Spaces model, variety of data sources accepted, and for Weka is proprietary. Proprietary means that is a relating to the owner, like it depends upon like how the like owner is going to use and which kind of format. So this is like a comparison of popular data mining platform of Excel, IBM Spaces Modeler, and Weka. Hope you can understand this concept. So you just remember these features, and you can have the comparison once you understood this. Okay, so you can have the comparison between all the three. So hope you can understand, guys. We'll move to the next slide. Okay. The next next concept that is we are talking about is data mining wisdoms, or we can call it as a myths. So what is a myths like we have? The first myth, that is data mining provides instant solutions or predictions. Okay, so it is not so, because data mining sometimes what happens, the for processing and all, for cleaning and all, it requires some time. Okay, so that is why like it takes some time. Okay, it will not provide the result or solution with an instant time, okay, within a fraction of second. So this is one myth. Then what is the second myth? Data mining is not yet viable for business application. Okay, someone think that okay, it is not viable for business application. So data mining has like very good impact. It uses many good algorithms, so it is viable for most of the applications, business applications. Okay, data mining requires a separate dedicated database. Okay, it is not like so. So using like one data warehouse, okay, we can have the like data marts, different functional in it. So in that only we can able to store the data. So there is no requirement of separate dedicated database required for this data mining process. Okay. The next myth is can only be done by those with the advanced degrees. Okay. So like it is also not acceptable, because the data mining tool like Excel, that is a spreadsheet which is like used by the end user. So even though like the person who doesn't have the like advanced degree, they can make use of Excel and they can perform the operation, isn't it? Okay. The next myth is data mining is only for large firms that have lots of customer data. So it is not like so, because we can also use data mining for small data mart functional units, like as I told you, end user uses the spreadsheet, that is Excel. Okay, Excel can be used by the not large firms, okay, even small firms also. Okay, so these all are what some of the myths of the data mining. Hope you can understand what are the myths. Okay, fine. Move on to the common mistakes. What are the common mistakes which is done by the user or a data miner? Okay, so the first mistake, that is selecting the wrong problem for a data mining. Okay, just pay attention. Selecting the wrong problem, that leads to what? If you select the wrong problem, okay, so getting the right answer to an irrelevant question could be interesting, but it would be pointless from a business perspective, isn't it? So wrong problem, that leads to the waste of time and energy. Okay, so this is a normally data miner do the common mistake. So one should avoid this, and to get the good result and to avoid the wastage of time and money. The second common mistake, that is buried under mountains of data without clear metadata. So what does it mean? It is more important to engage with the data than to have a lots of data. So instead of having the lots of data, so we can have the more important to engaging with the data. So that is what this point talks. The next third one is disorganized data mining. So what do you mean by disorganized data mining? So without clear goals, much time is wasted doing the same test using the same minimum mining algorithms repeatedly and blindly. So without thinking about the next stage, without a plan, would lead to what? Wastes of time and energy. So one should like organize the data for mining purpose. Understood? So the next common mistake, that is insufficient business knowledge. So one should have the like proper business knowledge. Okay, if the person has insufficient business knowledge, what happens? Without a deep understanding of the business domain, the results would be what? Meaningless, of course, isn't it? Okay, the next is, what is the next mistake? Incompatibility of data mining tool and data sets. What does it mean? All the tools from data gathering, preparation, mining, and visualization should work together, isn't it? What and all work together? Data gathering, preparation, mining, and visualization. It should work together. Use tools that can work with the data from multiple sources in multiple industry standard format. So, so this is how the incompatibility of data mining tools and data sets can be avoided. The next common mistake, that is looking aggregate results and not at individual record or prediction. Okay, how you are going to get the aggregate result? Okay, based on the individual record only. Okay, isn't it? So instead of like looking at the aggregate result, okay, so you can also focus on the individual record, because this individual record and prediction that leads to the aggregate result, isn't it? Okay, then the last common mistake that is normally data miner do, that is not measuring your result differently from the way your sponsor measures them. It means that if the data mining team loses its sense of business objectives and beginning to mine data for its own sake, it will lose respect and executive support very quickly. So that is why you're not measuring your result differently from the way you sponsor measures them. So these are some of the common mistakes the data miner do. Okay, so we need to avoid these common mistakes to get a good result. So opportunities don't happen, you create them, which is told by Chris Grosser. With this quote, I would like to conclude today's lecture. So I request you to please subscribe the channel. If you like this video, please press the like button and share this video as much as possible. Thank you once again for watching this video. Thank you so much.